This is Lemon's Car Spotting. You post to Instagram with the hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting. We pick the hooptiest.
They are so incredibly terrible.
And which one we want to become a real Lemons build.
It does car-like things. I've been pushing for one of those in Lemons too, and those are very affordable.
Hey everybody, it's Lemon's Car Spotting. We're going to do this a little simpler going forward. This is really easy. You hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting on Instagram. We find them. And each of us is just going to pick the one that we want to go into Lemons. All right, let's get started.
Yep. Keeping it simple. Don't even have to do the whole choosy thing. Here we go.
Here we go. All right, this one's mine. And I chose this for a very simple reason, because we have gotten in Lemons a bunch of spectacular campers and camper replicas, and I want to see more of them. So doing it on a Beetle convertible is good. We've had an E36 camper that is fast as hell and is sooner or later going to win a race. We had a legitimate Toyota Chinook camper that was incredibly slow, and was so slow we used it as a penalty where if you were doing dangerous things, you had to follow the Chinook on the racetrack for a while. And we've had this kind of treatment. People have done ice cream trucks out of Pontiacs. This is the basis for an outstanding theme, not an outstanding race car. That's why it's my pick. I want to see it in Lemons.
Yep. And to piggyback on that, we also had Chris Overzet's Mazda B series with the actual camper in the bed. One of these.
Right. Exactly.
The execution here is pretty easy. Get a convertible, drop the thing on there, make sure it's not going to fall off. Voila.
Get a convertible or a Sawzall and get a camper, put it on, make sure it's not going to fall off. You're good to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. Plenty of El Caminos, homemade. Just drop it on there.
Yeah.
All right.
What else we got?
Let's see what the other one we have is, which is boom.
All right, this one's yours, Eric. What do you got?
Right. So this is a Plymouth Volare, and of course, like all things Chrysler, they made this in a station wagon, a sedan, and a coupe, and of course, there were Roadrunner versions of it, and rally packs and everything, and it developed this reputation, well deserved, as the most recalled car of the 70s, which if that is the case, you have to be trying really hard to build a car poorly. And most of these recalls were related to rust, which again, if you have to stand out as a rusty car from the 1970s, it must be pretty extraordinary.
A rusty Detroit car from the 1970s.
Exactly. You would think Detroit, home of salt, would have figured that out. It took them a little while.
You would think the United Kingdom, home of rain, would figure out how to, have cars that don't leak, that don't short out in the water, and that have heaters and defrosters. That didn't happen either.
Indeed. Well, this is the 4-door version of this. They made this for about 5 years. 318 or a slant 6. You're not going to be going very quickly. This one has its own ecosystem. That kind of thing's great. We somehow never had a Volare in Lemons. We've had an Aspen. If we could get the twins of them racing together, I think that would be amazing. But a Volare in general, we are dying to see one. If you found one that hasn't rusted away.
All right. Pretty good choices. Anything we want to add to either of those cars? I think we're good.
If you know more about them, if you know where one can be found, if you're bringing one to Lemons, tell us in the comments, and be sure to tag your stuff Lemons Car Spotting right here.
Spotting right there, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, go ahead.